Recognizing propaganda. Today, we will learn how to recognize propaganda. Propaganda is a type of communication, and it is important to be aware of so that one can think critically about the information they are consuming. By being aware of the techniques propagandists utilize, one can be more objective in their decision-making and avoid being manipulated. Be aware of and identify the source of the information. Is it a credible source, or is it someone or something with an agenda, or trying to sell you something? There are quite a few categories of propaganda. Understanding these categories will assist in recognizing propaganda. Bandwagon refers to a popular trend or movement that attracts growing support and used to describe people who support something. Simply, because it is popular, they believe in it. The bandwagon effect can be a powerful force and can be difficult to resist. For example, one might jump on the bandwagon by buying a new product or supporting something that is suddenly popular, even if they don't really need it. Just because something is popular doesn't mean it is good. Card stacking comes from the practice of stacking a deck of cards in a way that gives one player an advantage. In propaganda, it is used to give the audience a false impression of the truth by presenting only one side of an issue in a way that makes it seem more favorable than the other side. For example, they might only talk about the benefits of a new product and not mention any of the risks. Fear-mongering is a technique using fear to manipulate people's opinions or behavior. It is often used to create a sense of urgency or make people feel in danger. For example, the Daisy Girl was a political ad during the 1964 presidential election designed to scare people into voting for President Lyndon Baines Johnson. It depicts a young girl counting flowers as a nuclear bomb explodes. The voiceover is by Johnson.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
These are the stakes to make a world in which all of God's children can live, or to go into the dark. We must either love each other or we must die.
Glittering generality is a vague, but emotionally appealing, positive words or phrases to persuade without providing any concrete information and make something sound good, even if it's not true. These phrases are often used to evoke positive emotions and make people more likely to agree with a particular point of view. For example, they might call something patriotic, or family-friendly, or democracy, or war being called a peacekeeping mission, a miracle cure, or a new product. Name-calling is a common technique that is used in a variety of contexts, often used to attack opponents, to discredit ideas, or to promote a particular point of view.
So that we can use the name for Joe Biden because he'll be known from now on as Crooked Joe Biden.
Socialism. I didn't know there were that many socialist Republicans.
Crazy Nancy Pelosi's House Democrats.
Fortunately, some of our MAGA Republican friends in Congress.
That the do-nothing Democrats are doing nothing. They are doing nothing.
Plain folks technique is a way of appealing to the audience by making the presenter appear to be like one of them, an ordinary person who shares their values and concerns. For example, in politics, it is used to make the candidate appear more like the average person and less like an elitist by telling a story or two about how their own experiences are identical to the audience.
As a kid in high school, I used to go down to the black church. I go to 7:30 Mass. I'm a practicing Catholic. Then I go to 10 o'clock.
However, sometimes the inappropriate use of the plain folk technique can backfire and turn the audience against the politician. For example, 2 weeks following the Lahaina Maui fires, President Biden flew to the island and inappropriately used the plain folk technique.
I don't want to compare difficulties, but we have a little sense, Jill and I, what it's like to lose a home. I almost lost my wife, my '67 Corvette, and my cat.
According to the AP, that was a house fire in 2004. It was a kitchen fire. It was put out within 20 minutes. He did not lose his cat or his car. People are still missing. Children have died. People had to jump into the water to save their lives. They don't have homes. How did that make you feel when you heard him say that?
The people of Lahaina are hurting. They are hurting. This is something which nobody saw coming. They lost everything. And our commander-in-chief is joking about a kitchen fire and likening that to the experience that locals here in Hawaii are feeling and going through. It's just reprehensible.
Testimonial is a technique that involves using a respected or famous person to endorse a product or idea. This is done to make the product or idea seem more credible and trustworthy. For example, a famous actor or athlete says that they use a certain product or that they believe in a certain cause.
Hey, this is Lady Gaga. I'm voting for America, which means I'm voting for Joe Biden.
Having identified a few propaganda categories, it is important to be aware when they occur so informed decisions can be made. Propaganda often repeats the same message over and over and over again in an attempt to make it appear more believable. Things to do to avoid being taken in by propaganda. Verify the information being presented. Do not just rely on one source of information. Try to get multiple perspectives on the issue, or, even better, obtain first-hand or second-hand information before forming an opinion. Propaganda often omits important information that could contradict the message it is trying to convey. Propaganda often tries to appeal to your emotions rather than reason. Being aware of these techniques, one will be able to recognize propaganda and make informed decisions about the information they consume. Until next time, make it a goal to learn something new daily.